So in 2018, I decided to start my personal brand in hopes of making a full-time income, and I succeeded. And here are the steps that I took. Step number one was I had to pick a social media platform to use. And the one that I chose was Instagram, IG. Now, the reason why I decided to use Instagram was because I was already familiar with it. It was easy for me to use. It was fun for me to use, and it was super hot at the time. So that's why I decided to use Instagram. The second thing was I had to figure out what I was going to offer to the marketplace. And the offer I came up with was business consulting and business coaching. And the reason why I decided to, offer business coaching and business consulting was because from 2015 to 2017, I worked with an entrepreneur who is a multimillionaire, and they started their personal brand and scaled it. And I got to see everything happen. I got to see how the personal brand started, how it scaled, what worked, what didn't work. I got to see how to network. I got to see so many different things just from the 2 years of working with this entrepreneur and working for them, learning in the trenches with them, seeing what they could have done better, masterminding with them. All these things, all these amazing mentorship experiences that I got for 2 years, it all led to this. Business coaching, business consulting, and just a bunch of business experience. Not only that, but the title that I had at that job was head of support. So I was literally in charge of customer support. And because this entrepreneur was offering educational, online education for business owners, I got to really talk to a lot of business owners from all walks of life around the world. And so I got to just, witness and experience and hear feedback from all these different people with all these different experiences in 2 years, summarize all in 2 years. And I got to see everything. I got to hear everything. I got to hear the challenges, the problems, the results, what worked for them, all these things. So that's why I decided that I should offer business consulting, business coaching. It was a low barrier entry for me to start. And I felt like I had the experience to offer to the table, or to bring to the table. So that's why I did that. Number three is I had to build an audience, right? For me, in my personal brand, I didn't have an audience. So I had to figure out how to build that really quickly. And the two skills that I heavily focused on in order to build a following was the first one, networking, business networking, making connections, building relationships. That's what I did. The second skill that I focused on was marketing. And these two skills, in my opinion, these are non-negotiable for any entrepreneur to learn. These are timeless, non-negotiable skills to master. Because if you're in business, you're always going to have to network, connect with people, and you're always going to have to continuously, market, like promote. So these two skills I heavily focused on, and I ended up building an audience. Number four was I had to figure out how to convert this audience now, right? I was building a following. People were connecting with me left and right. I had to figure out how can I offer and close the deal, right? How can I offer what I had to offer to them, which was business consulting, business coaching? How can I close the deal with this audience that I was building? And the way that I did it was through Instagram stories. This was the first way of closing deals, was IG story. Actually, the first way that I did it was through the DMs. So I would close in the DMs. That was the first way I did it. And then the second way I did it was IG stories. And when I figured out how to sell on IG stories, that's when I slowly stopped closing the DMs, because I was just heavily leveraging IG stories. So I can go over that in another video. But basically what I did for the IG stories was I created a funnel through stories. So I made a step-by-step story that walked the customer or the potential customer that I'm trying to offer my services to. I walked them through a step-by-step, sales process. And at the end of that step-by-step sales process, everything was, automated after I post it. So my following would go through it, the stories, and if they found value in it, then they would buy. And that's exactly what I did through my IG stories. And when I saw that happen, when I had that unlock with the IG stories, that's when I decided to systemize the stories that I would post. So that way I can actually make an income from my stories. And then I'll be able to do whatever I want, right? When I first got this unlock, I got invited to a birthday, and my friend, like whose birthday it was, they rented a boat, and so it was like a mini yacht. And for me, I remember working 2 hours just focused on trying to build these stories, this story template basically. And after 2 hours, I was like, all right, I got to get to the party. So I posted the stories one after the other, and then I went to the party. And then I remember when I was on the boat and I was partying, I remember looking at my phone, and I remember seeing my PayPal, because I was using PayPal at the time to convert the sales. I remember seeing my PayPal just go off, and I was making income while I was partying, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is how you do it. So that's what I did. And then after that, then I was very excited, obviously, but I decided to systemize my story posting and figure out a way on how I can, increase my conversions. And that's what I did. So I just kept on focusing on all these different steps. Obviously, step number 5 was deliver results. Deliver results for my clients, the people that they vouch for me through their dollars, right? They decided to get started with my offer, and so my goal was to make sure that I got them results, which I did. But here's where I went wrong. Okay, my business model ended here. I only went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. There should have been a 6th step. And if I had this 6th step would have led to so much more business in terms of like business income, like revenue, sales, cash flow. So many different business opportunities could have been realized from this one step, but I didn't do it. Okay, I didn't do it because at the time I didn't think through my business model all the way. So this 6th step is something that I should have done, and I'm just going to list it here, so that way if you're in this position building your personal brand and you don't have this 6th step, guarantee this is going to help you make more. Well, I don't guarantee anything, but you should experiment with it at least. So the first 5 steps was pick a platform, right? I created my offer, I built a following, I converted the following, and then I delivered the results. Step number 6 was this. After delivering the results for these clients, I should have had what's next. I should have had that next level offer. I should have had something to offer to them after I got them the results, because they already believe in me. They already know that I can help them get to this result. Well, now that they got to this result, what's the next level? Like most entrepreneurs want to keep on going to the next level over and over again. For me, because I've been in the trenches from 2015 to 2017, learning from multimillionaires, right? Learning from my boss who was a multimillionaire, I got to see everything at the very highest level. So I literally could have brought someone from the very beginning of not like having any income online to going to 8 figures, because that's exactly what I saw. So I should have had that, but I just didn't do it. I just didn't think clearly enough. I didn't map out my business model thoroughly enough, and I ended up losing a lot of business just because I didn't have this 6th step, which was, what is that next level offer that I can offer to my clients that are already getting results with me? That's literally the one thing that I should have done. So what ended up happening was I did achieve my goal of making a full-time income with my personal brand. I achieved it. However, every single time I closed a deal, that income that I made, it went from here to my expenses. So I ended up living paycheck to paycheck. That's what happened to me. Okay, paycheck to paycheck. Although I accomplished my goal of making a full-time income with my personal brand, I basically had a job, and I loved it. I loved having my personal brand, monetizing it, living that, the dream that I really wanted to accomplish. I did it, but if I had just added this 6th step, this next level offer, I wouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck during that time. So that was like my hindsight, right? If you're going through this situation, make sure to have that next level offer, because if you already got results for your client that, they trust you, they do business with you, and you get them results, well, what's that next level that you can offer them? What's that next level that you can help them get to? And so on and so forth, right? And then If you can't get them to that next level, then the best advice that I can give is who can you refer them to that can help them get to that next level, right? So when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And there's a lot of people out there who've, achieved so much. So a referral will help them out so much. So always, I believe in paying it forward and out of the kindness of your heart. And I know that, for me at least, I believe in karma as well. So get that good karma coming back to you. But again, helping other people out and making a positive impact in their life is always a blessing, and it's always amazing. So for me, I should have at least done that, right? I did refer people, but I could have been that person to fulfill it for them. So that was my mistake. Learn from my mistakes. So if you have any questions in regards to starting or scaling a personal brand and business, then leave it in the comments below. I will compile a list of questions, and then I'll upload a video like this and go over it. I'll just give my thoughts from my experience and my opinion, and take what you will, use whatever, test everything, take everything that I say with a grain of salt, take everything that you see with a grain of salt, and just go out there and go through it yourself and really see what works for you. Have fun with it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Let's get it.